What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Wes Crochet, and this is Sports with Wes. Just first wanted to say thank you to anyone that's engaged with any of the content to this point. I know this channel is very young in its existence, and I do intend to keep putting out content, especially as we get closer to football season. I know right now we're kind of in a weird gap between NBA Summer League just ending and the NBA really going into its off season. And we're not quite yet there for football to get going. So I do intend to put out more content. I still have some topics from the NBA Summer League, the off season, and then looking ahead to next season that I want to speak to, especially with the Houston Rockets. And then I also want to speak to the upcoming football season, whether it's NFL football, college football, some fantasy football topics. So there definitely is more content coming. I know we're also in the middle of the Major League Baseball season. I also keep up with the Austin FC Major League Soccer team. So definitely still some sports topics to be commenting on, and I will be putting out more content soon. So appreciate the engagement to this point. If you like the channel, go ahead and subscribe to it. And I intend to continue to grow this channel. I wanted to take some time today, not necessarily to speak to a specific team or a specific league, but I wanted to speak to a group of people and a radio station that really has had a positive impact on me for the past 10 or 15 years, and that is the Austin Radio Network, specifically 1049 The Horn. For those of you here in Austin, you know that 1049 The Horn has been a staple of Austin sports radio for, I think, going back to 2009 is when it really started. And for me, especially back, 5-10 years ago, that really had a big impact on me where I was at in my life. Now, I'm not an on-air host here in Austin, and I really haven't been doing any sports journalism or sports media for a handful of years now. However, my experiences with those great people is one influence or one motivation for me to start this channel. And I know that station is going through some changes with its programming, with its radio personality, feeling some of the effects of the current economic climate, and just some of the residual changes that happened post-pandemic with the radio industry in general. So again, I wanted to take some time to just acknowledge the great people over at the Austin Radio Network. And then also maybe provide some context as to who I am and why I want to start this channel, and just kind of fill in some of the blanks of like, who's this guy that just started this channel, Sports with Wes? So for my story and how it relates to the Horn, I really started my sports media journalism experiences back my senior year of high school. I went to high school here in Austin, Texas, and I had the opportunity to intern and work with a gentleman named Snoop Daniel. Snoop was the play-by-play radio broadcaster for the high school I went to here in Austin for the football season my senior year. And so I had the opportunity to be a sideline reporter during games and also provide some color commentary. At the time, we called it student analysis up in the booth, and I had a great time doing that. I loved being able to comment on sports and just give some opinions and analysis on what was going on, especially because it was the high school I was going to here in town. Then at the college I went to, I graduated from the University of Texas here in Austin, and towards the end of that stint at UT, I had the opportunity to intern with a gentleman that was named Sean Adams. For those of you that know Austin radio, you know the impact that Sean Adams had on this market. Sean has left us way too soon. Rest in peace to Sean Adams, but he was just an absolute force here in the radio world and the sports media world here in Austin. And he was certainly a big influence, or had a big impact on me for about the year or so that I interned with him my senior year at college, which would have been 2012 to 2013. From there, I had an opportunity to work and intern with a gentleman named Mike Craven. Mike Craven has been around the Central Texas and Texas high school football scene for a long time. And at the time, he and I were covering UTSA football out of San Antonio back when Larry Coker was the head coach. We were putting content out for the Rival on the Rivals website, which is still a great website, by the way. It's currently called birdsup.com. Back then it was called insideutsa.com. My main role with Mike was covering recruiting, and I really enjoyed my time with Mike Craven. Currently, Mike is with Dave Campbell's Texas Football and covering all of the college programs here in the great state of Texas. So from there, I then started, I had an opportunity to write articles and put out weekly content on BurntOrangeNation.com with Wes Scott Eberts and the SB Nation team. And during that time is when I really got more involved with the Austin Radio Network. I had opportunities to talk about Texas football with some of their midday hosts, which at that point were Brad Kellner and Trey Elling, and then also some of their afternoon hosts, which was Rod Babers and Kevin Dunn, and Chad Hastings also at a point in time there as well. Some of those guys are still with the Austin Radio Network. Some have moved on to other opportunities. I've also gotten to know, a guy like Aaron Hogan. He's been great to me over the years, and I'll run into him around town as well at different places. But I know that station is going through changes, and I just wanted to take some time to acknowledge that everyone that I've worked with or had the opportunity to speak to over there has been nothing but great to me. And I hope that I know that they're going to all land on their feet somewhere, whether it's still with the Austin Radio Network, with the Horn, or at another opportunity, another station. But those people over there have been great influences and great personalities here in the Austin Sports Radio Network and the sports media industry, which, for Austin, UT really is the main driver here for sports talk. And, since then, I know we now have Austin FC, which does bring in some added sports talk. Not everyone here is an MLS fan or an Austin FC fan, but, the guys over, the radio hosts over at the Horn have really done a good job over the years of connecting with the market here locally, and also just developing different sports broadcasters, different brands of people. And I think that's something a lot of us have really appreciated. And, again, I just wanted to, part of why I wanted to speak to this is because many of those people have had a great influence on me. Even though I'm not really writing full time or doing any sort of blogging or anything at the moment for something like Texas football. Part of my experiences with them and the fun that I had with them on radio bits or radio time slots or interviews has motivated me to want to start this channel. So I just wanted to take some time to say thank you to them, to acknowledge them, the great people that many of them have been over there since 2009, and some of them have come over since then and still been with the Horn for years. And I don't know what the landscape of Austin sports radio will look like in the future. We really probably won't know for another couple weeks or even a month, as people go through these changes and land back on their feet and find other opportunities. But just wanted to take some time and first acknowledge those people at the Austin Radio Network, and then also acknowledge the people that have impacted me through my sports commentary history or my sports commentary experiences going back to high school and since everything since then. So just wanted to speak to that, speak to those changes, and just give some context to who I am and why I enjoy talking about sports. So I appreciate, again, your time for even tuning into this video. You can follow me on Twitter at WesC512. I do have a Sports with Wes Instagram. I'm also obviously doing Sports with Wes YouTube posts here. We'll continue to do that as well. And if I can, I'm going to try to connect with some of those guys, and maybe we'll do some crossover things, depending on where they land from their own wherever their next opportunities may take them. So I've already kind of reached out to a few of those individuals, and we'll see what happens. But nonetheless, a lot of them are still friends, good acquaintances, and overall good people. So Hey, thank you again for taking the time to tune into this. Just know that I will have more content coming out soon. There's certainly more sports to come, and certainly topics that I still want to speak to, whether it's been NBA related, football related, fantasy football related. There's still a lot going on, even though we're in this gap right now. So appreciate your time, appreciate your engagement, and we'll talk to you again soon. Thank you.